I lost 30 kilos 23 years ago, and I've been able to keep that weight off by following a low carb plan. But along the way, I had a terrible sugar addiction for about 7 years. So I know all about what it feels like when you have that obsession with wanting sweet food, what it feels like to start eating something and not being able to stop. And what I remember so clearly about those years was how difficult Easter was. I would always start the weekend full of good intentions, exercising, swearing to myself that I wouldn't fall down in a heap with my face first in the food by the end of the weekend. And usually I ended up with my face first in the food, especially once I'd had kids and there were all the Easter eggs lying around. Now, I quit sugar 10 years ago, so Easter is a very, very different experience for me now. But what I want to share with you in this video is 3 ways that you can hopefully get through this coming weekend in a much better way, just by taking a moment right now to think about your plan and come up with some different actions. Because if there's one thing I know, it's that horrible feeling of being bloated, full, and regretful. And because Easter's going on for longer than a normal weekend, you can do a lot of damage both mentally and physically in the next 4 days. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to suggest to you is to really focus on your mindset. And this is actually the most simple thing of all. Just come up with a plan. Decide in advance how you want to feel on Tuesday when this weekend is over. Really think about that. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel bloated, or do you want to feel proud of yourself? Do you want to have gained 1 or 2 kilos, or do you want your weight to be the same? Deciding now how you want to feel at the end of the weekend is probably the most important action of all, because once you've aligned your mind to the goal, you have a much better chance of achieving it. Then, once you've decided on that goal, just think back from there over to the days prior to that. So we've got Monday, Sunday, Saturday, and of course Good Friday. Think through occasions that are going to be coming up and how you can best get through those occasions. Whether it's going to someone's house for dinner, whether it's an afternoon tea with the grandparents, whatever that might be. Just plan through those moments and work out how you are going to approach that occasion so that you can get through and still feel like you're on track, depending, of course, on what your goal is. The key is to have a plan. Now, number 2 is if you have the sugar addiction where you know that you simply can't stop at 1, and that once you get started, all you keep doing is thinking about sugar. It's an obsession that only those of us who share can understand. I really want you to shut the door on sugar. Have none, especially for this weekend in particular, because there's just so much of it floating around. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to do that forever, but if you can do it for this weekend, I know that you are going to get through in such a better way. Because often when I have clients telling me, oh, this is hard, it feels like a battle, the problem is that you have still got the door open. That door is still ajar. So while you have the door ajar, while it's a possibility, there's going to be a battle because you're thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I? Yes, no. When you've shut the door, it makes all the difference. It really does. So when it's a firm no, there's really not a battle because there's no negotiation. So doing that has made the hugest difference for me. I mean, I quit sugar fully 10 years ago, and it's just made life so much better ever since. It's just a freedom that I never thought was possible. And that's because I've shut the door on sugar, locked it, and thrown away the key. And it really is the absolute answer. Now, you might not be ready to shut the door permanently, but I highly suggest that you shut it for the next 4 days because it's going to make a huge difference. You've got to have a strategy so that you can stay safe if you've got a lot of sugar in the house. And having none is a lot easier than having 1 and telling yourself, oh, I'll just have 1, it's just a treat. Because we both know you are not going to stop with 1, okay? Now, the number 3 action, which will make a huge difference to your ability to be able to do this, is if you go to bed on time. Make sleep your priority. If you're tired, you're having late nights, you're going to be a lot more vulnerable to giving into the sugar, to giving into extra snacks, to maybe opening up that door again because you're simply tired. When it comes to weight loss, sleep is your absolute superpower because your body is going to burn fat while you sleep. So going to bed earlier is a great way to get results. But the other key difference is that when we get good sleep, our body is so much more able to regulate appetite. And that's what you want. You want to be able to resist those sugar temptations, okay? Look, Easter is only 4 days, but in 4 days, you can make a huge difference to your mental and physical health in both directions. And by just taking these simple actions, I really hope that it's going to help you get through the next 4 days feeling happy, proud, full of energy, and just being able to show up for your family and show up for these occasions without constantly thinking about sugar, why you ate it, how you're going to get your next fix. We want to get out of the food and just focus on the fun. And that's certainly my hope for you for this Easter. And look, if you want to join my community, be able to get access to my Facebook group in the Y-Weight Academy, because I'm going to be on there talking to the ladies all weekend, I've just released a new membership, which is only $19 for an entire month. So that's going to get you onto my private Facebook group. It'll get you access to my website, which has got all of my resources, food plan, meals plan, lots and lots of recipes. I send out a new recipe every week. And I've even got a daily motivational email, which I send out. That's optional, but all of that is available for just $19 a month. And that's definitely going to help you stay on track. So I'll put the sign up link in the bio. All the best, and I hope you have a great Easter.